Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, and so glad you could attend. I don't know if you caught my written review on We Live Entertainment, but here's my video review of Bloodline, brought to us by Henry Jacobson. We've got Seann William Scott. Yes, that Seann William Scott. He's playing Evan, who's a high school counselor who is soon to be a father, and we see how he tries to offer advice to these kids at the high school where he works, and these kids are abused mostly by their relatives in some way, shape, or form. Well, when he becomes a parent himself, he decides to take it upon himself to dole out a little justice and vengeance in honor of the kids who he sees at his job, and so he ends up taking their relatives and trying to understand how they feel when they abuse. But is he doing this serial killing vigilantism for the good of the kids who he sees, or is it to try to quench a bloodlust, a thirst inside him that is from his past that has affected him now that he's a father as well? Bloodline is a very interesting exploration into this mind of a serial killer who, on one hand, he seems on this Trevor Long, he's doing good, still bad for killing people, but good because he's doling out some justice, he thinks, to these relatives who just cannot stop abusing the kids that he sees at his job. But inside you can tell there's something else going on. Seann William Scott is fantastic in this. This is one of his best roles I've seen him in, and I hope he does more horror, because if he can do it like this, man, I'll watch him in that. He was cold and it was just creepy and dark character, definitely a different type of character than we normally are used to seeing him play it. And the fact, this director, Henry Jacobson, does not hold back in this film from showing gratuitous violence, exploitation elements. All of that's in here. It's very explicit, from the opening scene that we get where there's a shower murder to the birth of Evan's child. All of it very well done with practical special effects, but also have some elements in here that may disturb some people, especially if you are against some gratuitous nudity. There is some of that in here, but I was impressed that they went that far with some of these scenes, and I really enjoyed how this story played out. It's got some twists and turns just when you think it's going to take your normal formulaic approach. They throw a little twist in there. The Evan character has an interesting background. It shows you the effects of abuse on people and how it can affect them, and exploration into various forms of child abuse, and also the psychology of those who are being abused. And I thought that was a very interesting way to explore that subject through this movie, and the twist ending for sure was one that, while I may not agree with it because it's a darker ending, it was one that I did not see coming. So overall, Bloodline is a solid film with great practical effects, some fun editing, and great performances by everyone involved. I think you should watch it for your 31 Days of Horror, or if nothing else, just to see a good thriller horror film that with Seann William Scott in it, which is something I wouldn't have seen myself saying many years ago, but there you have it, folks. So Bloodline it is. If you've seen Bloodline, please leave your comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. I thank you for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.